never lose your cool. There is nothing more inspiring than an unflappable leader, someone who keeps their cool no matter what. Even in the worst crises, when everyone else is in a panic, a leader who keeps their cool will inspire others to follow and achieve great things. I can think of no greater example of a leader who kept his cool under the worst possible circumstances than the U.S. Army captain who led a group of 12 men into battle against 1,500 men in the battle for Mazar-e-Sharif, Afghanistan. This event was made famous by the book Horse Soldiers and the movie 12 Strong. Against overwhelming odds and in the face of imminent death throughout their mission, Captain Nutch inspired his men and their Afghan allies onto victory after victory. One of the shining characteristics that came out over and over again throughout the movie was how cool Captain Nutch was, and how nothing, not even a close call with death, caused him to ever lose his cool. It's inspiring to watch, and his coolness certainly inspired his team. At the end of the movie, after the battle had been finally won, we hear one of his sergeants say, "I'd follow you there. Hell, I'd follow you anywhere." You may never find yourself in these extreme set of circumstances, but in our lives, and especially as leaders, we may all find ourselves in incredibly stressful, crisis-fueled situations that require our immediate action and the quick engagement of our trusted teams to right the ship. Whether it's an unexpected system crash, a disastrous financial report that portends bankruptcy for the firm, or the sudden physical destruction of a critical corporate asset through an act of God. All of these situations require unflappable, level-headed leadership that will inspire others around them to do the right actions. Unfortunately, at the other end of cool, we find something that happens far too often in management and in leadership circles. We find uncontrolled outbursts of anger. Nothing, and I mean nothing, will derail any of your leadership efforts quicker and have a longer lasting negative effect on your ability to lead than an uncontrolled outburst of anger, even one time. Notice that I said uncontrolled. There have been a few times in my life where I have intentionally used anger to control a situation, but those are rare, and it is a tool in the toolbox that can be used, but it has to be used when everything else has been tried and all else fails to contain a situation. But I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is the type of rage that comes out of some people when they feel like they have lost control of a situation. Worse yet, I've seen managers try and use anger as a tool to get people to perform. At the bottom of this spectrum are managers who genuinely believe that the use of anger in situations is displaying good management. But nothing, and I repeat, nothing will strip you of your right to authentic or inspirational leadership than not controlling your anger. One of the hallmarks of great leaders is their ability to stay cool, calm, and collected, even in the worst circumstances, when the world seems to be coming apart around them. Why is anger such an antithesis to good leadership? Because it instills fear in your teammates and subordinates. Fear that they will be on the receiving line of this anger. Or worse yet, fear that they will lose their employment for something they say or something they do that makes the boss angry. So, in those cases, everyone puts their heads down and clams up, especially when it comes to giving out bad news. So things don't get to the boss until they are long past the crisis stage, because no one brought it up earlier when the management could have dealt with the situation without resorting to some sort of crisis management. When crises occur, and they will, as part of organizational life, it's vital that leaders keep calm, keep their cool. In a crisis, everyone is looking to their leaders for direction and guidance on how to resolve things, how to right the ship. If the leaders don't stay calm in those situations, they will be lucky if the worst that happens is a loss of respect around them. For far too often, a crisis situation goes from bad to worse because the leaders in charge lost their cool. The results can be, and indeed have been, catastrophic and even fatal. So, if you're a leader, never lose your cool.